Hey guys, today I'm going to be cooking a crustless chicken pot pie. I have never tried this recipe before, but it's one that I've had saved on my Pinterest and I'm excited to test out. Especially because I have this new Dutch oven. This is my very first Dutch oven, and recently I've been really into thrifting and antiquing. And this is a very nice Dutch oven that I got at the Habitat Restore. So if you're into thrifting, I definitely recommend checking out the Restore for cooking appliances and things like that, because you can get really good deals on not even used kitchen appliances and things like that. So I'm excited to test out my Dutch oven today. I did not grow up in a family that cooked a lot. My mom, she will attest to the fact that she hates cooking. We survived on a lot of ground beef tacos, ground beef sloppy joes, ground beef spaghetti and meat sauce, things like that. But I have always loved food, and those foods were really, really great, but I've always wanted to get more into cooking. I've just been a little bit nervous. And so over the years, I've practiced. That's the only way to get better at something, is to practice. And so even though I wouldn't consider myself a chef by any means, I cook a lot of the food for my husband James and I each week, mostly doing things like batch prep, but I like to try one new, more intricate recipe each week. And so that's why, since it's cooling down and getting very cold outside in Tennessee right now, I'm doing a crustless chicken pot pie. Let's get started.
As the days grow shorter and the air cools, everything in creation seems to exhale. The trees release what they no longer need, the earth settles in, and our bodies start craving these slower rhythms too. There's something special about this time of year, the way the world quiets itself, almost inviting us to do the same, to breathe a little deeper, to move a little slower, to notice the small things again. Fall and winter have a way of drawing us inward, into rest, into reflection, into the kind of stillness we often rush past. It makes me think of Ecclesiastes 3:1. For everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. And maybe this, right now, is a season of gentleness. For so many years, winter looked nothing like gentleness for me. As a gymnast through college and then as a CrossFit athlete, winter meant gearing up. It meant intensity, discipline, performance. My body was trained to push harder, even as the world around me was whispering the opposite. And it's funny, isn't it, how we tend to lean into what's familiar, even when the rhythm is no longer serving us, even when something inside us is asking for a different way. But this year feels different. This year, I'm choosing to listen, to let the quiet settle over me instead of resisting it, to honor the slower mornings, the earlier sunsets, the permission to rest without guilt. There's something so beautiful in slowing down, a beauty that doesn't demand but invites, a beauty that doesn't rush but receives. This isn't me saying to let go of your goals. I still have mine too. But I'm learning that goals don't have to be lived out at the same pace in every season of life. Sometimes the most important thing you can do is pause long enough to hear what God is truly speaking, to ask Him what He wants for you right now, not what He wanted last year or even last month.
Okay, so everything's chopped up. I'm gonna start heating up my Dutch oven here, and I'm gonna let it heat up for a few minutes before I add the butter in. We're gonna add that in and let this melt over medium-high heat. So a tip for someone who might be nervous to get into cooking is to not overthink it so much. That's something I used to really struggle with, is being like, oh, I don't have every single thing I need for the recipe, or I'm just not really great at mincing garlic. I hate mincing garlic. But I really just try not to overthink it so much. And a couple of these items on this recipe I'm cooking today, I don't have. For instance, it calls for thyme. I don't have thyme, so I'm just gonna replace it with rosemary. I also, for the chicken, it calls for 3 to 4 cups of chicken, but I ended up boiling before we started about 5 cups. I eyeballed trying to get 3 to 4 and ended up being 5 cups of chicken. So I'm still just gonna use all that chicken. Worst case scenario, the consistency comes out a little bit different. Best case scenario, it's totally fine, which it's probably going to be just fine.
Your needs in the season might look different than they ever have before, and that's not a sign of failure. That's a sign of growth, a sign of being shaped, refined, and redirected by a God who knows exactly what you need long before you ask. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. So maybe your small act of nourishment this week is simply to pause and listen, to ask yourself gently, is what I'm doing right now truly serving me? Is this pace honoring my body, my mind, my spirit? And maybe even, what is God asking of me in this exact season?
Okay, so this looks so yummy, and I would consider it something relatively easy to make. I think something to serve this with, you could either serve it over rice, you could serve it over more sweet potatoes. James and I typically have rice and sweet potatoes already batch prepped, so if you need more carbohydrates, you can serve it over something like that. But I do think a perfect addition would definitely be something like a biscuit, a slice of sourdough toasted, or even something like crackers would be so yummy in this. So let me test out a little bit. This is so good. It's just the right amount of creamy. I was worried that the 5 cups of chicken would be too much, but I love it. I think it's perfect. And I added in the spinach, which is a recommendation for the recipe. I'm gonna link the recipe below so you guys can check it out for yourself. But man, this turned out so good. If you guys like videos like this and you want to see me do more, maybe share my recipe that I'm testing each week, let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions about meal prepping, batch prepping, recipes, nutrition, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video on those. Thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Here's to the colder months, the ones that invite us to nourish all parts of ourselves, to be present with the people we love, to sip our coffee slowly, to step outside and feel the crisp air on our face, to read a book just because it feels good, to spend time with Jesus in the quiet where it's easier to hear his voice. Here's to choosing slowness, even if it still feels unfamiliar, even if it stretches you in new ways. Here's to letting the season shape you, soften you, and prepare you for what comes next. Here's to winter, season of rest, renewal, and restoration.